It's the final push to Election Day. Tonight, the presidential campaigns are on an all-out blitz in the battleground states, including right here in Georgia. And here's why, folks. This is the final NBC News national poll of the 2024 presidential campaign, and it shows the race is neck and neck. And you can see both Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump with support from 49% of the registered voters. Just 2% of the voters say they're still not decided. And happening right now, former President Donald Trump is in Georgia. Here's a live look at the campaign rally he's going to be holding in Macon. He's expected to speak in the next 30 minutes or so, starting around 6:30. And of course, we're going to be there because if you want to tune in, 11 Alive will be live streaming the former president's remarks. Just download our 11 Alive Plus streaming app. It's free on your Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV. And tonight, the Harris campaign is also making the rounds in the battleground state of Georgia. Just hours ago, Democratic vice presidential nominee Tim Walz was in Atlanta speaking to students from the city's 4 HBCUs, followed by a canvassing kickoff event in Gwinnett County and a rally in Cobb County. 11 Alive political team member and co-host of the Georgia Vote, Zach Merchant, is live now from the Renaissance Atlanta Waverly Hotel. Zach?
It is all part of a high-stakes, high-energy final 48-hour push to Election Day in one of the most hotly contested battleground states in the entire country. Governor Tim Walz, the Democrats' nominee for vice president, he just capped a day of campaigning in Metro Atlanta with a rally right here at the Renaissance Waverly Hotel near Truist Park. Here, he argued that a Harris-Walz administration would fight price gouging, work to protect schools from mass shootings, and he urged supporters to cast their ballots on Tuesday in an election where he argued individual liberties are on the line.
When Donald Trump talks about freedom, that's the freedom to be in your exam room. That's the freedom to be in your bedroom. That's the freedom to tell you what books to read. That's the freedom to force their religious beliefs on you. Those are the things they're talking about. When Kamala talks about freedom, she means the people should be free to make those decisions, not politicians.
Governor Tim Walz's visit here coming amidst a slew of campaign stops in Georgia over the last 48 hours. Yesterday, Vice President Kamala Harris was in Atlanta. Today, of course, Governor Tim Walz here in Cobb County. Also, as Ron just mentioned, former President Donald Trump will be speaking in Macon in a matter of minutes. And to cap things off tomorrow, Senator J.D. Vance is scheduled to make a campaign appearance here in Atlanta. This is what it looks like in a battleground in the closing stretch of a closely contested election. We're live tonight in Cobb County. Zach Merchant, 11 Alive News.
Yeah, we're just getting started here, Zach. By the way, Zach's Georgia Vote co-host, Faith Jesse, secured a one-on-one interview with Governor Walz today. Here's a little bit of that conversation.
We get it. You're here to canvass. We got to get you out of the doors.
With 2 days until Election Day, Governor Tim Walz firing up campaign volunteers in Norcross.
Because when we vote,
and today, he spoke with us one-on-one.
Let me ask you this, 2 days to go. Are you feeling confident or are you feeling concerned right now?
Yeah, I'm feeling confident. We need to execute this. We're going to win this thing. As I told the crowd out there, we haven't won it yet. We have a better ground game. We're knocking millions of doors across the country.
We asked about a timeline on when Americans would see a drop in prices if he's elected.
Do we have a timeline, maybe a month after you're in office, maybe a year? What's that look like?
Well, look, and we've seen an opportunity. We've seen gas prices come down. We're producing more energy than ever. We've seen inflation cool. We've seen mortgage rates start to drop. We need to get these things in. We need to get a Congress working with us.
But do you know how long that would take? Maybe?
Well, it takes its speed of government that moves on these things. Certainly, we're not going to take office till January 20th when we're inaugurated, so it's going to take a few months. They're working this right now. Now, we've made progress. She's been part of bringing back manufacturing jobs to America, protecting the ACA, reducing the cost of healthcare costs by capping insulin.
Walz also touched on immigration.
The solution that most people want is secure our border, make sure that they have the resources they need, but also make sure that the true American story of immigration is respected.
And after the mass shooting at Appalachia High School, Walz shared his stance on fixing America's gun violence problem.
As a coach, what is your non-political answer to fix this thing if you're elected?
Well, I've done something. I passed laws in Minnesota that created extreme background checks, extreme risk protection orders, pushing to make sure they're safer. Look, I'm a hunter, a veteran, a gunner. I was the best shot in Congress, one of the best shots there. I understand this. You can protect the Second Amendment. Kamala and I are both gun owners, but our first responsibility is gun violence. Other countries don't live this way.
But can you convince Congress? That it seems to be the holdup every time with the Congress.
Yes, either that or you'll lose, because 80% of the American public says we don't have to live this way. You can have your guns, you can have your Second Amendment rights, but we can do enhanced things, keeping assault weapons off the streets or out of our schools. And Lucy Macbeth's a great example of this, running this. If we win, and we will win, and we win the House, she's in charge of making sure we do some of those things.
In Gwinnett County, Faith Jesse, 11 Alive News.
You know, as Zach Merchant just pointed out, the campaign stops are not over just yet. Tomorrow, Republican vice presidential nominee Senator J.D. Vance is going to be in Atlanta. He's going to be holding a rally at the Cobb Galleria Center starting at 5 p.m. And folks, your last chance to vote is on Election Day. It's this coming Tuesday, November 5th. The polls are going to open up at 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Be sure to join us on election night. We're going to have live streamed coverage of the race for the White House and Georgia results as well, plus county by county analysis starting at 7 p.m. on 11 Alive Plus.